coming up, a new football season coming up in the UK. Does it apply to other countries in Europe too? Do you have new season? Because the truth is, we only follow the Premier League. We don't. We need to be educated on if it's going to happen in all the La Liga and the other ones.
Yeah, it's the most popular league in the world. Again, the English
The
media
Premier
hype
League,
and
English
everything.
league,
That's
yes.
why it's something that's loved by so many people. And then the packaging around it too, it's quite fantastic. But yeah, there are top 5 leagues in Europe. There are a few other top leagues, but the top 5 leagues almost have a similar schedule somewhat. So the Spanish league resumed last weekend, just like the Premier League. The Italian league is going to be up in the coming weeks, same with the German league too. The French league had kicked off just about 3 weeks ago, so all of them happen around the same time. And they're going to last until sometime in May, June next year.
Yeah, but look, I'm not a football. Don't think you're going to have a robust discussion with me. I'm not a real. I just love watching games, and I must say that when I watch football dispassionately, I find the La Liga games
Yeah.
a bit more exciting and fluid and entertaining. Am I right in that? Have I said the right thing?
You're not out of points. They have some of the best players in the world playing in
Yeah,
that La Liga.
it's quite,
Yeah.
and it's also, it takes the pressure off me that I'm watching. You see something about when you watch football
Yeah.
with somebody in mind, you keep looking out for the person, as opposed to just sit back and just enjoy the game. But let me ask you, the major reason you're here, I said I was going to ask you is, what is this mess about Messi? What is this force, this whole force about Messi that even got his dad having to travel down? What exactly is this all about?
Well, it's football business. I wouldn't say football politics, even though we had a bit of that come to the fore too, but it's majorly football business. As a footballer, you have a lifespan of 15 to 20 years at most to make all the money you can make. And there's no pension after football, unlike some of the jobs that the rest of us do. So many of these stars want to accumulate as much cash as possible. So when they leave, if they can never really hit the heights financially as they were when they were playing the game, at least whatever they have saved or invested will keep them going. So that has been a bit of the conversation. So you sign a contract with a football club, and after several years, the contract ends. You decide if you want to remain with that club or if you want to move to another club. Sometimes you want to remain with that club, but then there's a very good offer coming through from another rival, and it's very tempting for you. It's even like a media profession too, where if you're really good, you become hot cake, and then some other brands want to try and capture you. So you have to decide if you think you're okay with the brand you are in, or if you want to run to somewhere else. It's a bit of a correlation between.
I think
the
it
two
hit a bit of a
parties.
bullseye in that.
So
But let me let me ask you, why are the two major players in Barca getting restless? Suarez too says looks like he's going to leave next year. What's it all about?
age also plays
And they
a part.
paying them well.
They are paying them very well. In the case of Luis Suarez, it's a case of the new manager coming in, Ronald Koeman, and saying, Chief, you're not really part of my plans anymore. Suarez is 33.
Oh, really?
Yes. And in football, when you hit 30, the belief is that you start dwindling in your performances. The peak of a footballer is between 20 and 30. After
How old is
30,
Messi?
Messi's 33. But there's something about Messi and Ronaldo that makes them out of this world. Ronaldo is a year his senior, 34. Ronaldo and Messi have consistently been better. Every other footballer in the world, when you hit 30, 31, 32, your quality
I
starts
mean,
dropping.
Miller got to 40. Roger Miller got to, was it 42?
Yeah, he did. Scored in the World Cup at a very old age. But the thing with that level is you will no longer be consistent. Because like they say, but be firewood. It's the body, human body, and injuries will start setting in because your bones are getting older. It will take a while for you to be as good as you were in the past. You will not be as fast as you were when you were between 20 and 30.
Yeah.
All of those things contribute to why you dwindle in quality the older you get as a footballer. But Messi and Ronaldo are out of this world. However, on the Messi issue, the thing about him is, arguably in the eyes of so many people, he's the greatest footballer ever. You want to put him at par with Pelé, Maradona, Ronaldo de Lima, Ronaldo, Cristiano. They look at him in the eyes of so many people as the greatest that has ever played the game. So it's a prized asset. He is a prized asset for any team that has the privilege of having him. And for Barcelona, they've had him in their comfort zone for years now. He joined them when he was just 13. And, he's been with them for 20 years now.
Okay.
Yes. So when it was time for the guy to say, I want to go, And they know that he won the award as the best player in the world for 2019. That was the 6th time he was winning that accolade. So it's more like, why would we let our best player go?
Oh, at this time.
Yes, because we need him, because we're going to be challenging for titles next season.
But can you actually force him? I mean, won't that affect his performance? Or you expect him to be a professional anyway?
You do. Something somebody told me about this job of us that, good enough, I've not experienced this, at least in the last 8 years since I joined this brand. When some people walk and then you're owed salaries and you come to the microphone and somebody was saying, how do you motivate yourself to keep giving out your best on the microphone? And the response was, every time you turn on the microphone to speak, you're selling yourself. So you're going to be doing some disservice to yourself if you turn on the microphone, you're sounding angry because you've not been paid your salaries. There's somebody who's listening to you who may just be, excited by your quality and then gives you a deal or something, and you mess it up.
Not just that.
Yeah.
I think that, and I'm glad you raised that. I think that what happens is you have to have a calling to do this job well. It's not a job you can do because you have no job. Okay, it has to be ingrained in you.
Yeah.
You have to have a calling. And then from my experience, for example, sometimes I walk into the studio, I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to talk about. But you put on that mic and something will come out of my mouth. It's a bit like, sometimes I even think it's a bit like, not speaking in tongues, no, not that one, but like as if some spirit takes over and you just find yourself saying certain things. It just keeps coming. That is if you have a calling. If you don't have a calling, then you could be struggling with it.
So that's the point now. The fact that there has to be the motivation, and for a professional footballer, one who has played the game and has desires to be the best in his or her craft, every time you go on that field, that spirit takes over too. The same spirit you're talking about with the microphone. So you're going to be doing yourself a disservice if, because you're not happy with the relationship you have between yourself and your team in Barcelona, you misperform. You have one more year with the Barcelona team. There are going to be suitors waiting for you. If you don't perform well enough for this 1 year, your ratings will drop. And you're going to be punishing yourself too, because the amount of wages that you want, or the wages you want, the amount of money you require from that new team that comes for you, will not be paid by them if they think you're not worth it.
Who would we think would be the all-time player of, would you say, the decade? Who would be the all-time player between Pele, Maradona, Messi,
Ronaldo?
Doesn't it depend on your age?
It's an unending debate.
I think it also depends. I mean, I saw Pele play. I mean, not, but on TV I was play. And in those days, it was more about dribbling. You understand? So, but Pele was a legend. I mean,
scoring goals, 1,000 plus we hear he scored.
Tricks and so on. In fact, the only other person I could have likened to Pele, believe him, is a Nigerian.
Who's that? Okocha?
There was a guy. No, Okochake. There was a guy in this country of ours called Haruna Ilerika. He played for Nigeria. He played Principal's Cup, played for Nigeria. Nice. Those days were dribbling days. Haruna Ilerika could dribble from the back all the way up front and slam the ball in, And even the commentators, after a while, won't tell you. You just hear Ilerika. That means one is gone. Ilerika, things like that. One of these days, I'll tell you a story about what happened at Principal's Cup, but I don't have that time.
I'll be looking forward to
Finally,
that.
I'd like Chuma to ask you, what exactly is happening to Nigerian soccer?
Well, if you pardon me, just to add for 60 seconds, a bit more messy to have a wrap on it.
Okay.
Because I remember the question you asked me before I even came in for the show.
Yes.
Why are they having the issues? So Messi signed a contract extension with Barcelona in 2017. It was supposed to be a 4-year deal. That was continuing from where he stopped when he signed the previous one in 2014. The one in 2017 required, according to reports, that he was going to be earning as much as 500,000 euros every week. 500,000 euros every week as his wages.
500,000 every week?
Yes, every week. And he's gone on with the Barcelona side. They last won the Champions League, which is the most prestigious prize in club football, in 2015. He thought he was going to win it with them again. Didn't happen in 2018, didn't happen in 2019. And they were very shambolic this year, 2020. They were decimated by a team called Bayern Munich, being knocked out of the Champions League 8-2 after 90 minutes. And Messi just got disgruntled. What's happening here? This is crazy. This is what I'm here for. I'm 33. I don't have time anymore. And he thought it was high time he left. But when he signed that contract in 2017, there was a clause there that said, by June 10, at the end of every season, by June 10, you can tell us you want to go, and we'll allow you go for free to any other club you want to go to, as far as it's not past the date June 10. 2020 is a unique year. There was coronavirus. So ordinarily by June 10, the season should have ended.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this year because of COVID-19, by June 10, the season was just restarting again after the 3 months break because of coronavirus. And Messi waited for the season to finish before telling his Barcelona team, I want to leave. And Barca said, guy, the clause is June 10. June 10 has passed. Messi's lawyers were arguing, no, now the season was still on by June 10. They say, well, Messi, I'm sorry, the clause is there.
Yes,
and any team that wants to sign you has to cough out 700 million euros. 700 million euros for any club that wanted to sign Messi. And Messi said, hey, ordinarily he believes that because he had spoken to the president of Barca, Josep Maria Bartomeu, and Barca's president had always told him when the season ends, you can go if you want to go to. And he was like, he doesn't like the double standards from that president.
Yeah.
But the reason why he's going to stay back is because he's played in Barca all his life. He doesn't want to take Barcelona to court. So he would just sacrifice the final year of his contract, play for them for 1 more year, after which he can go for free.
Where do you think he might be going?
The reports are saying Manchester City because his former coach, Pep Guardiola, is now the coach of Man City. They've had a fantastic relationship over the years, and Man City also a very rich club. So it's not too many clubs in world football that can pay a player 500,000 euros every week.
I feel like
Man City are one of those few clubs.
I feel like putting on my pair of boots. Okay, the last one on Nigerian soccer.
Yes. Problem with Nigerian football, several things. First off, European football has taken a bit of shine off Nigerian football. And those guys have built something on organization. The Premier League got rebranded in 1992. The UEFA Champions League got rebranded in 1992. From then on, these tournaments have skyrocketed. Global brands they are. Everybody wants to watch. The best players in the world are featuring for those sides in Europe. Come back to Nigeria, and what we have is disorganization. 90% of the clubs in our league are owned by state governments. Just about 2 are privately owned. MFMFC of Lagos, owned by Church, and FC Ifeanyi, the team I support from Newi in Anambra, my state, owned by Senator Ifeanyi. The rest are government owned. Football is business. Sport is business. Manchester United, Real Madrid, Manchester City, and those teams are not owned by government.
Yes.
So what happens here is the chairman of a football club in Nigeria just sits back knowing that the state government will have a location for you for the new season. Hundreds of millions to billions for seasons. And so you're not eager to want to sell merchandise. How do these clubs make money in Europe? Ticket sales for matches.
Yeah.
TV rights. Our league has not been on television for so many years now. They had to deal with Super Sports. That one collapsed. And since then, we've not had our league on television. So our teams cannot make money from TV rights. Attendance in stadia for matches in the league, dwindles. So the 2 major territories are just about 3. Aba, Enyimba, the fans come out in their thousands to watch. Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano Pillars fans come out in their thousands. Many other venues have just, when Rivers United play, when I was in Port Harcourt, you have just a few hundreds to maybe 2,000 people in a stadium that has a capacity of 16,000.
Wow.
So these clubs cannot make money from ticket sales. Merchandise, selling your jerseys. Nigerian clubs have not bought into the habit of selling their merchandise yet. So the summary is, as a club chairman, you just believe that allocation will come from the state government, and that's it. And these things have bedeviled the growth of league football in our country over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Chuma, it's a never-ending discussion. I'll be dragging you in from time to time. Okay? I've been talking to Chuma Nolly, known as Mr. Rhymes, and we've just been talking football. I see. So I'll take a short commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to be looking at 1 or 2 other issues that are in the papers. And remember, today is Friday. So I have husband and wives for my Muslim brothers who are single or who want to marry a second wife. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, and of course, this is Nigeria Info 99.3, from Lagos here. Right, there are a few stories. Oh, by the way, if you do want to call in, it's 0700 993 993 993. And the Twitter handle is at Lagos Info FM. Okay, at Lagos. And please tag at Jimi Disu so I can read it on my device. Sorry? At Nigeria Info FM. Yes, that's what I said. Oh, sorry. At Nigeria Info FM. Sorry. Thank you, Zainab. She was wishing something to me. Right. So you can call in and okay, now there's a story here that I want to bring to your attention, and I think it is something I'd like to discuss with you. You can please call in if you want. And the story here is hidden. It's hidden somewhere in the punch, page 30 or so. It says that traditionalists canvasses teaching Yoruba beliefs in schools. And it says the renowned Ifa priest, Chief Ifayemi Elebuibon, has recommended the teaching of Yoruba beliefs in primary and secondary schools to check moral decadence in society. I think I could expand that to say to teaching Nigeria beliefs depending on which region you are in our schools. And I hope this gains some traction and gains some attention from our leaders and those who are in charge of curriculum and so on and so forth. According to Elebu Ibon, he said that the rising immorality in society might be difficult to curb until pupils were exposed to the right values at primary and secondary education schools. He said the new school would teach, there's a new school being set up, would teach Yoruba traditional beliefs, expose pupils to values of hard work, truthfulness, and preservedness. Now, I must say that I'm a bit worried, about the culture that our kids are picking up these days. I mean, for those, for example, who send their kids abroad, they do end up, instead of reading about Janet and John, read about John and John. I've cracked that joke so many times. And I think that there is a need for us to instill our own values in our own children. The level of decadence in Europe is appalling. Unless you actually are part of that society, you might not appreciate the kind of things that one is talking about. But it's gradually seeping here. Some of the things you see in the papers, some of the things you see in the social media, gives a lot of cause for worry. Africans, the only salvation for Africa is when Africans begin to think like Africans. There is no running away from it. I was discussing with somebody the other time, and I said that, now this will be a direct translation, that traditionally there are two things that are important, at least in this part of the world. The first is your lineage. Your lineage, where do you come from? That's why any question back in the day when we were growing up, you find questions like, who is your father? They like to know who your father is, like to know your lineage. And the word for it, they call it blood, it's called eje, but what it just means is your lineage. And then there's something also, there's a hidden whatever with what they call the sand, ile, sand. These are the things that bind our society together. Unfortunately, in taking on other religious beliefs, which is fine, it's legitimate, I have no problem with that, we threw away the baby with the bathwater. Like somebody would joke. He would say, I look forward to the day when people would swear by Shango not to put their hands in the cookie jar. Why traditional, amongst other things, why a lot of people run away from traditional religion, apart from the strenuous part of it, is because it is unforgiving. Once you are told, don't do this, and it is on record that you have been told, if you do it, you bear the consequence. And you will not believe that some of what are people call, what they call it in some of our other religions, they say is traditional cause, his home cause, his home this and home that. That's a whole lot of nonsense. Let me be honest with you. All this, they say he has traditional this and traditional that. We've fallen victim to a whole lot of propaganda. I'm not going to have a debate with anybody on that, so nobody should call me after. It's just my belief that we've fallen to propaganda that tells us that all what we've been doing has been bad, has been evil. You talk about black markets, you talk about this, you talk about that. That's why we are not progressing. I'm not a black activist or anything. I'm just somebody who thinks things out. And by the way, for the record, I'm a Christian and I'm glad to be one. But I'm not going to throw away the baby with the bathwater. If we still unfortunately, the greatest antagonists to our traditional beliefs are those in whose care it has been put. Where you have a traditional ruler who a traditional ruler who is supposed to be the custodian of our religious practices and cultural practices, glorifying other things to the detriment of and saying that, we have seen the light now. I don't believe. I'm sorry. I don't believe in something. But I'm not, like I said, it's not. You can't debate on beliefs. To be honest with you, what I do know is that one of the things that has done us in on this continent is that lack of identity, where we have surrendered our identity to the whims and caprices of other people. And it's a shame. I remember some churches that came 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Some of them were flying American flags. And I just looked and laughed because I know where all that is coming from. I have a fair idea. We've been victims of some big propaganda. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't see anything wrong with other religions, but it is important that you know that these religions have been used as a weapon to take you through a second colonization and second slavery. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against them, but they've been used as a weapon, But the traditional religion too has itself to blame. That African tradition that tells you to keep everything to yourself and die with it, all the knowledge, also is what we're paying for now. I heard, I don't know, I've never been to this world before, I don't know about reincarnation, but I heard way back then, traditionally, people would travel, they would go from Ife to Ilorin in less than 15 minutes. They had Kanoko, they had Igbe, they had all kinds of things. But part of the problem is that our own people also then died with it. Instead of them to pass the knowledge on to to those behind them, they died with so much knowledge, and we're paying for it, dearly for it right now. But I just want us to be open-minded. I want us to be open-minded. Again, I'd like to pay tribute to Alhaji Shehu Shagari, former president of Nigeria. He's the one who saved us from this idea way back then, believe you me, as early as in the 80s, where if you were traditional whatever, you were regarded as a bushman. In those days, you had to wear a suit to work in a Nigeria civil service. We have Shagari to thank for that, if I remember very well. He was the one who liberalized dressing. Before, you could only wear what they call native on Friday. Okay? You could only wear native on Friday. But thank God to Shagari and the likes of Fela and other Sonny Okosan who brought that awareness. This is where we also need our musicians. Music is a gift. Is a gift of the gods. It's a gift of the Almighty to you. Shouldn't be used for any Jagbajantis music. Well, I guess some of them are not even musicians anyway, to be honest with you. Because if you have that spirit of music in you, the real spirit, you will use it for betterment of society. Not some of the nonsense that we get to hear today. Our lines are going to be open. Please feel free to express yourself. I'm not going to go to argument with anybody. What I've done is to stimulate the discussion. But please don't cast aspersions on anybody. Okay? We'll take the first caller, Zainab. Hello, morning. Hello. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
My name is Ayodeji.
I can't hear you well. Hello. Please come again.
My name is Ayodeji.
Good morning, Mr. Ayodeji. How are you?
Yeah. I was listening to what you said. And I got a revelation back then in a clear state of mind. And I discovered that our religions was not supposed to be forgotten because, first of all, Christianity is a way. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm listening to you. That's why I'm keeping quiet.
Christianity is a way of life. Christ came to give us a path of deliverance from fall or death of man into sin. It did not change any religion. Even Judaism, he did not cancel it when it came. He only gave us a better way. So you can be an Ifa priest and still be a Christian, which a lot of people don't know. And that's the major problem we have right now. The white man used it to make our traditional beliefs like evil. It is not evil. Christianity came to Africa first before it went to Europe or America. America was not even in existence when Christianity came to Africa. If you read the account of the Kandaki, that's the what's his name called? The name just went off my mind.
Okay, when you remember, I can call back. Thank you very much. Please remember when you do call in, call from a quiet place and switch off your radio. And please remember that you have just 1 minute to get called. Morning. Hello, sir.
Morning, I greet you.
Morning.
Degoke from Lekki.
Yes.
Many people understand Christianity to be many things, several things to themselves. It depends on where you're looking at it. And, definitely some people say they are just Christians, and some say they are born-again Christians. You get tongue speaking and all that. So we have people with different outlook of what Christianity is, to themselves. And my question is really, when you talk about traditional practice, what about those fetish things they do, that they have to bury somebody, you have to get virgins, head of this, head of that? Is that a legal thing? Is it legal? Is this something that is appealing to the society? Is it approved by law, Nigerian constitution or law?
Okay. Okay, I'll answer that now. I'll answer. Yeah. Thank you. I'll try. The answer I'm going to give is not sacrosanct. It's just my own thoughts. Listen, there is nothing under the sun that doesn't have its bad sides. There is always good and evil in all religious practices. There is good and evil. When you hear, for example, when I hear people in a church, for example, talking about die, my enemy die, this die, that is against the Christian tenets. Okay? So there is always, and even you do have some people who practice Islam that also do evil things. It's a fact of the world. We can't run away from it. When I talk about traditional worship, those are the evil sides of things that you are talking about, those ones where they make human sacrifice and so on. Those are the evil sides of things. But if you study our religion in the purest form, they talk about it. I did a session. I think I need to do that session again some years back, about 2 years back, where we discussed whether issue is Satan and so on and so forth. In Christianity, you recognize the power of Satan. I mean, everybody knows that Satan is there. He's always killed and put in a bottomless pit, but he seems to come up again, because sometimes you have a 7-day revival, and on all the days you're burying the devil and putting him in a bottomless pit, and he surfaces the next day. Where I'm going is this: if you want to practice traditional religion and the good side of it is available, not that I know anything in detail, is available. It's available. They're good and they're bad. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly across the board. Wasn't it Christianity that was used to perpetuate slavery? What are we talking about? It was Christianity that was used to perpetuate slavery. And how many people died under that exercise? So don't let people focus always on the bad things. Some of my best friends ever are not even Christians or Muslims. One of my very best friends that I could almost die for is an Ifa priest. one of my family members that I love the most, and I can stand guarantee for him, is not even a Christian or a Muslim. He's a cross bearer. I mean, so but that's not to say I have loads of Christians, loads of Muslims. I mean, for me, I don't discriminate. I'm absolutely comfortable with everybody. And I don't belong to this idea, sometimes you go for like an naming ceremony of a child because you're a Muslim, you stand outside the church, make a big show of yourself that I can't go in because or the other way around, you're a Christian, say I can't go into the mosque. And people just, the way I look at it is people just, it's all about religious practices to a large extent here. It's all about show. How many Christians, how many pastors would you say for sure would you hit your chest and say they are pious? How many Muslim alfas would you actually hit your chest and say these are extremely pious people? The molds that I grew up to know, for example, in Islam, I haven't seen anyone like them. Two of them that I was relatively close to. One is Basil Augusto, who was the chief imam of Jamaatul Islamiyah, and then Alhaji YPO Shodende of the Ahmadiyya movement. I mean, this my experience with them as a child, and then even in Christianity, I've had very close friends, strong Christians, very strong Christians, and that have encouraged me eventually to become. I became a Christian really by circumstance. That's the way God said it was going to be, because I grew up with a Muslim background. But I'm glad that I had a bit of the two. And God bless his soul. I remember in Jamaatul Islamiyah, they teach you. I remember, like, I tell you this funny story. My brother was his naming ceremony in the UK, naming ceremony of his daughter. The chief imam looked at his wife and asked her, "Madam, are you a Christian or a Muslim?" The chief imam of the UK branch of Jamaatul, and she said she was looking at her shoe. Whether somebody said, "No, tell us." So she said, "Okay, I'm a Christian." So you know what the chief imam said? Make sure you take this child to church. Make sure you take this child to church, because we know what fathers are like. When the child grows up, what is most important is that he is taught the ways of good life and the ways of God, because they are the same. That was the chief imam talking. They were the same. And if I remember the late Alhaja Biobaku, in her school, for example, Alhaja Biobaku was the daughter of a chief imam. In her school, she used to allow Christian worship. So we allow people divide us by all these things. Our politicians and so on and so forth, they tend to divide us. Okay, so this is just to set you thinking, really. It's not... let me quickly... There's something here that I found quite interesting, and I like. It goes across board. And it says here, this is by Dr. Adewale Adeyo. I got the name right, Adeyo. And it says, the people despised... Okay, the headline is "Doing Good Increases Human Joy." This is from Harun Balogun's page in the Vanguard. And it says, the people despised, taunted, and nearly destroyed by life's bad luck will always be beautiful by divine laws of life and chants that capture Allah's benevolence. The harsh world in which we live still would never condone hatred nor give satisfaction for envy. Wickedness shall always be the leftover of humanity's greatest beauty. Remember, all evil deeds that is enforced would leave humanity broken. Therefore, stop now and never cease to do good. Okay? This is my message to you now. I'm reading from his quote, Dr. Adewale Adeyo says, never cease to do good, no matter how little. Doing good expands the vista of human joy and amidst life's deathless breath that forever holds us in peace. And he says, do good, praise Allah, lend the help, or you can add praise God, lend a helping hand all the time. Dr. Adewale Adeyo, OON. That's what you're thinking, Zainab. It did. Do good all the time. And I think it's important, again, that I said, do not let people use these religious or whatever to divide us. So back to where we came from, I believe very strongly we should have traditional whatever in our curricula. So it's now 9:43. It will soon be 9:45. 9:45 gives me. Let me take one or two more calls. Then I can now start doing my Muslim brothers and sisters a favor. Today is Friday. Hello, morning. Morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Joe Dukeri calling from Songwater.
Yes, please go on.
Okay. Now I want to say this clear. It may hurt some people to say this or to hear this, but I want to say this categorically clear: that the black man is owned by the white man, especially the black man from Africa is owned by the white man.
Mm.
Look, it may sound very harsh. When you look at a country like India, some people say India was colonized. India was only modernized.
Hmm.
They had their religion. They had everything. They know themselves as Indians.
Hmm.
The white man only came to teach them civilization. But in the case of Africa, the white man came. He took some people, separated them from their brothers. They first of all had the Berlin Conference where they shared the territory of Africa amongst themselves.
Mm.
Without minding who and who and who and who. They separated people from their brothers, put a gate there and called it border. Much people who were not together with some people. Now, the main issue has been taken care of. The remaining is, let us give them another religion. Let us give them another language. Let us give them another this. Let us give them another dressing. Let us give them another this. Because the main issue has been taken care of, which is separating brothers from brothers.
Yes. Thank you.
We are talking.
Thank you. I'll give you a bit of that, a bit of what he said. If you look at the history of the United Kingdom, if you've lived there for a while, you know, look at the Indians and look at the Africans. The Indians and so on and so forth, they are always together. Even if they're the third generation being born on the soil on English soil, their cultures, they haven't given it up. Their religion, they haven't given it up. And guess what? Where are we today? Today you have an Indian, or you have a mayor of London, the mayor of London from Indian extraction. Okay, and I think no, he's Pakistani. Then they're all the same anyway. And then his deputy is Indian. If care is not taken, one day you're going to have a prime minister of the United Kingdom who is Indian. But we black people, we just refuse to be united. We've allowed ourselves to be divided. It even happens here. You know, we were colonized, we were set free, but we still tied our minds back to our colonialists. That is a long, long story. Let me now do my Muslim brothers and sisters a favor. Zainab, do you think you can benefit from this, what I want to read now? Are you available?
Yeah, sure.
You're available? All right, wait. You're under the bus. What are you mixing under the bus? When I asked you if you're available.
I just got it right.
Okay, are you available?
No, I'm not.
You're not, okay. Zainab is speaking for. Now, you have something here. It says, do you seek a Muslim life partner? But Zainab already has one. And Arun Balogun says, are you a Muslim? Are you seeking for a soulmate for marriage? Then you can send your profile and contact, telephone, and photo to isholaism@gmail.com. I'm doing you that good favor now. If you want a Muslim brother, a Muslim partner, you can send a mail to isholaism@gmail.com. Okay? Now, who is available, Zainab? Let me tell you. Just in case you change your mind.
No, I'm not going to.
Just in case. I mean, I'm only trying to, you never know. I hope your husband's not listening now. And it says here, a 27-year-old Muslimah marketer from Kogi wants a God from Kogi Ke. Philip, please alert me when we talk to Kogi people. Let me tell them. A 27-year-old Muslimah wants a God-fearing Muslim as husband. He must be literate, working, ready for marriage, and preferably from Kogi. A female Muslim, 27, genotype AA from North Central, wants a young man between the age of 35 to 45 as husband. He must be working and ready for marriage. I think, Philip, you qualify for that one. Eh? Okay, you can see me later. A Muslim male, 40, AA genotype, civil servant, divorced with one kid, based in Kaduna, wants a God-fearing Muslimah for marriage, preferably between 30 to 35, and must be ready to relocate. Zainab, you can pass this one on to any young person that you know is looking, A young female Muslim from Kogi State but based in Kano. What's it with Kogi people and husbands and wives? A young female Muslim from Kogi State but based in Kano, working as a teacher, graduate of English, once caring and God-fearing Muslim male from the southwest, preferably Kogi, as husband and ready for marriage. Kogi is not southwest, is it?
Why English?
Why? No, he's an English graduate.
Okay.
You want somebody Kofeko Matabon. Zainab, you know that one of the things that can be embarrassing for a lot of, for me, for example, I don't want anybody who can't speak English properly standing next to me. I don't run for cover, so that's why he has declared that is what he don't want to make it a bon.
But so there are those who actually studied English that can't speak English well.
You said what?
There are some graduates of English
Yes.
that cannot even speak good
We
English.
have said well, I think what he does, he wants to eliminate. So if he now has a 3 or 4, he can then narrow down. He will do an aptitude test and they can. Okay, so we have another one, a Muslim male 33 working with private organization in Delta, searching for Muslim lady from any part of Nigeria or outside. I think his emphasis on outside. Where's it on outside? The emphasis must be business oriented and be ready for marriage. Read one of the tweets that I have there,
Oh, okay.
or the reactions you have on Facebook,
All
on YouTube.
Okay, sir. Trying to look through. Okay, let me just take this one.
Take
from
one, yeah,
Facebook.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, has Nigerian problem finished? Which one be hook up again? So he's asking a question. That's Opaleke Obina. Yes, asking that question. But here on YouTube,
Yes.
Oh, apologies. I'm trying to scroll through. Okay, so Barnabas Adedoyin says,
Yes.
so this one is still talking about sport. I've been seeing a lot of comments anyway. So on Twitter,
Yes.
Joy Forever 74 says, in the West, there is hardly any family that don't have one Muslim or Christian.
Yes. No.
Our leaders divide us. Yemi Elebuibo may be right in terms of moral or culture, but religion, no. I grew up in the village and saw lots of weird things.
Well, yeah. Look, listen. First and foremost, religion is a matter of choice, so there's no argument about that. I don't believe any religion is good or bad. It really and truly is a matter of choice. But talking about families, I'm a very very good example of how things should work. My grandfather's house is at Campus Square. Okay, as you approach Campus Square, you see the house. It is in what in today's language what you will call a duplex, because the two sides. Believe you me, on the left are the Christian, and on the right are the Catholics.
Wow.
And we intermingle on the days of. That's why I grew up loving things like Free John, Mingawa, and all these things. These are all Christian things, okay? Or Brazilian. They're all from Brazil. Campus. Campus is a Brazilian name. Did you know that?
Oh.
Yeah, Campus is a Brazilian name. Ali. Yeah, my mother's name is Ali. Ali family house. The Catholics are on one side. Staunch Catholics, knights of they're on one side. The Muslims are on the other, and we all meet at Idiodo. You know what Idiodo is?
Yeah, as it sounds.
Idiodo is not a
When
town.
you go to fetch what I know.
It's not a town, no. I didn't say Idiodo. I said Idiodo. That's where you fetch.
Exactly, I just said it.
But he says it. It's not a town. Let me tell you one funny story. Do you know that in the 60s in Lagos, you would always have a public tap on every street,
All right.
and then it was a meeting point. Until later, the government, what you call then the PWD, were able to put taps in each house. Everybody will meet at Idiodo. Let me get out of here. I think this is where we're going to end it. I'll be back tomorrow with the discourse at 8 o'clock in the morning. I have Mrs. Helen Amore, who I'm meeting her for the first time tomorrow, but I've been watching her for the past 2 years. And I see that She's been doing quite well business-wise and also has a very, very strong passion for youth development, which is one of the reasons why I'm bringing her tomorrow. I will never tire, never get tired, God willing, about contributing as much as I can to turning the minds of our youth round to development, because I have seen that there is no other way. There is no quick money to be made in the world. If you don't know, you better know now. We've seen it happen. Okay? We've seen it happen. And we grew up in a culture of work. I grew up in a culture where everybody goes to work in the morning and comes back in the evening. When you pension, you put one chair outside in the garden and sit under the apple tree and wait quietly for your pension. But these days, life has... Somebody like me, I've said I'm going to work till I drop dead, God willing. Which is not now. It's not yet, no. Okay, so that's the way it's been. I'm happy to have you. I thank the sports gentleman who came. I thank you for listening. I thank Zainab for being at the controls for me and contributing immensely. I know she has gained a lot from... So we'll be back again tomorrow. Philip, thank you very much. Let's go. We'll be back again tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Helen and Mora will be here. Now, stand by any moment from now. Collins will walk in, and he'll take you on from then at 10 o'clock. See you tomorrow.